The man behind one of the most iconic theme songs in TV and film history is gone. Lalo Schifrin, the genius composer behind Mission Impossible: Dirty Harry and the Amityville Horror, has passed away at the age of 93. But his legacy? That's eternal. If you've ever felt the rush of that pulse-pounding Mission Impossible intro or sat on the edge of your seat during a Clint Eastwood standoff, you've heard his brilliance in action. Before we dive into the extraordinary life and career of a musical legend, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. And in the comments, tell us your favorite Lalo Schifrin composition. Was it the fuse-lighting tension of Mission Impossible, or the haunting horror of Amityville? Let's celebrate a life that redefined sound in cinema. Lalo Schifrin died peacefully at his Los Angeles home on June 26th, surrounded by family. His son, Ryan Schifrin, confirmed that his passing was due to complications from pneumonia. He was 93. Born in Argentina in 1932, Boris Claudio Lalo Schifrin began life a world away from Hollywood, but his talent would take him to the very heart of it. A child prodigy in music, he studied classical piano and composition before turning his ear to the world of jazz, a genre that would shape his early success. And it didn't take long for that success to snowball. He won 4 Grammy Awards and earned 6 Oscar nominations during his remarkable career, 5 of those for Best Original Score. The list? The Amityville Horror, Cool Hand Luke, The Fox, Voyage of the Damned, and The Sting 2. But no piece of music defined him, or pop culture, quite like the Mission Impossible theme. First introduced in the original 1960s TV series, Schifrin's composition was more than just a theme song. It was a signature, a sonic logo, an instant adrenaline rush. He earned 2 Grammys in 1968 for that theme, and it didn't stop there. 3 of his 4 Emmy nominations came from that very score. The Mission Impossible theme has stood the test of time, evolving and thrilling new generations with every Tom Cruise-led film installment since 1996. It's a rare feat, music that spans decades, genres, and mediums, and still feels fresh. But did you know that wasn't his original theme? Back in 2006, Schifrin told the Associated Press that he'd written a completely different piece for the series. But when Bruce Geller, the show's creator, heard another track Schifrin had written for an action scene, he knew that was the one. The brief? Something bold, something exciting, something that would start with a fuse and burn into the viewer's memory. Schifrin delivered. There was nothing on the screen, he recalled. Maybe the fact that I was so free and I had no images to catch, maybe that's why it became so successful. That creative freedom, that instinct, would define his career. In 2018, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences honored Schifrin with only the 3rd ever honorary Oscar for a composer. The presenter? None other than Clint Eastwood, a longtime collaborator and friend. Is what he creates jazz? Is it classical, contemporary, popular? She said. The answer is yes, it is all of those things. She called him a Renaissance man, a painter with notes, a conductor of cinematic emotion. Lalo Schifrin didn't just compose, he created worlds. Outside of the movie business, Schifrin's resume is just as jaw-dropping. In the early years, he was a force in the jazz world, performing with legends like Stan Getz, Cal Tjader, and Bob Brookmeyer. He scored Grammy nominations for those performances too. In 1990, he wrote the grand finale performance for the World Cup Soccer Championship in Italy. That piece, featuring the legendary vocal trio of Placido Domingo, Luciano Pavarotti, and José Carreras, became one of the best-selling classical recordings of all time. He once said, "Every movie has its own personality. There are no rules to write music for movies. The movie dictates what the music will be." It's that humility, that flexibility, and that genius that made Schifrin one of a kind. He's survived by his wife Donna, his sons Ryan and William, and his daughter Frances. But beyond family, his legacy lives on every time a match strikes, a fuse lights, and that unmistakable rhythm kicks in. That's Lalo. That's legend. If you felt the impact of Lalo Schifrin's music, whether in a theater seat, a living room, or just your headphones, drop a comment below with your favorite score. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this with someone who still hums the Mission Impossible theme every time they try something risky. Rest in peace, Maestro Schifrin. Your mission was more than accomplished.